wonderful learners, and welcome back to the Fluent Foundations English podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm James. Today, we're diving into the most classic, most common English conversation starter in the world, talking about your weekend.
It seems simple, but it's actually a fantastic workout for your English. It forces you to quickly switch tenses, use descriptive adjectives, and engage in natural back and forth chat.
Exactly. We're going to break down how to ask, how to answer, and how to keep the conversation flowing naturally, whether you had a packed weekend or a completely relaxing one.
Let's start practicing.
So, Emma, let's look at the basic questions first. A beginner might just ask, "How was your weekend?" What are some more natural, varied ways to ask this question?
That's a great starting point, but to sound more natural, you can try, "What did you get up to this weekend? Did you have a good one? Do anything fun? How was the rest of your week?" This covers Friday evening, too.
I love get up to. That's a perfect example of a useful phrasal verb that makes you sound instantly more native. It simply means, what did you do?
Now, the rapport is where the fun begins because you're forced to use the past tense. Don't just say, "It was good." Give a little detail.
If you had a great weekend, you can use positive adjectives. It was fantastic, thanks. It was great, very relaxing. It was pretty packed, actually.
And then immediately follow up with a quick detail. For example, "It was lovely. I finally got around to reading that new novel." The verb got around to is another great natural phrase, meaning you finally found the time.
Let's practice with two common weekend scenarios. First, the active weekend. Tell me, what did you get up to this weekend, Emma?
I had a really busy one, actually. On Saturday, my partner and I checked out the new market downtown. I ended up buying a few antique books. Then on Sunday, we went for a long hike in the hills just outside the city. It was exhausting, but worth it. How about you?
Great use of verbs, checked out and went for. Mine was the opposite, the relaxing weekend. I just needed to recharge. I mostly binge-watched a new TV series on Netflix. I needed to catch up on my shows. And I slept in late both mornings.
Binge-watched and slept in are perfect verbs for a relaxing weekend. The key takeaway for listeners is to practice using a strong past tense verb and then follow up with a phrase that describes the feeling, exhausting but worth it, or much needed rest.
A good conversation doesn't stop with just the answer. To sound fluent, you need to use follow-up questions to show interest. This keeps the ball rolling.
When someone gives you a detail, don't just ask why. Use specific questions related to their answer. If they went on a hike, "Oh, really? What was the weather like?" Or, "Was it crowded up there?" If they read a novel, "What's it about?" Or, "Was it a good page-turner?" If they saw a movie, "Who was in it?" Or, "Would you recommend it?"
This is crucial. If I tell you I caught up on my shows, you can ask, "Oh, what series were you watching?" That is a much better question than just why.
And remember to link your answer back to them. If James says he binge-watched, I can say, "That sounds perfect. I wish I had had time to relax." This creates connection.
Now, let's pivot and talk about the future. Monday morning is also a time when people ask about the next one. This requires the future tense and conditional language.
Exactly. Common future questions include, "Do you have anything planned for next weekend?" Or, "What are you up to this coming weekend? I hear the weather is going to be nice. Any plans?"
And the answers often use future forms like "I'm going to" or "I might." Certain plan. I'm definitely going to visit my parents this weekend. Possible plan using modal verbs. I might check out that new museum if the weather holds up. Or I was thinking of just running some errands.
That phrase, "I was thinking of," is very natural. It shows your plan is tentative. And a great follow-up question for the future is to ask about the current week. Do you have a lot on your plate this week?
That's a fantastic idiom. Have a lot on your plate means you have a lot of work or responsibility. It keeps the conversation relevant and professional.
To wrap up, learners, remember the goal is not to have a perfect response, but to have a natural, flowing conversation.
Practice these simple patterns. Ask a varied question. What did you get up to? Answer with a specific verb. I went for a hike. And ask a relevant follow-up question. Was it crowded up there?
Use those past tense verbs for the weekend and future modals like might and going to for the next one.
The more you practice talking about your real life, the more fluent your English foundation will become.
You've been listening to the Fluent Foundations English podcast. If this practice was helpful, please like this video and subscribe.
I'm James.
And I'm Emma. We'll talk to you next time.